My fiancée compared me to her ex and cheated on me, so I canceled the wedding. And what she found the next morning shattered her world. My name is Donovan. I'm 32, and until recently, I was engaged to Bianca, 29. She's an event coordinator who specializes in luxury weddings and corporate galas. We met at a charity auction 3 years ago where she was managing the event and I was there representing my firm. She was brilliant at her job, commanding the room, managing crisis after crisis with grace, making $500,000 events look effortless. We got engaged 8 months ago. I proposed at her favorite restaurant with a 2.5-carat cushion-cut diamond that cost me 3 months' salary. She said yes before I even finished asking. The wedding was set for October 15th at the Westmont Estate, 200 guests, $85,000 budget, every detail planned to perfection. The first sign something was wrong came in July, 3 months before the wedding. We were at dinner with her friends, monthly tradition, usually insufferable, but I went because it mattered to her. After her 4th glass of Pinot, Bianca started talking about her ex, Theo Mansfield. He owns 3 restaurants in the city, the kind of places where you need reservations 2 months in advance. Theo just had this way about him, she said, swirling her wine. He'd walk into a room and everyone would notice. He never asked what I wanted for dinner, he'd just order for both of us and somehow it was always perfect. He'd grab my wrist during sex and... She paused, glanced at me, then continued, some men just have that natural dominance, you know? That ability to take charge without asking. Her friend Kendra tried to change the subject, but Bianca kept going. Don't get me wrong, Donovan is amazing. He's stable, successful, he'll be a great father. But Theo was fire. When he f***ed me, I felt it for days. When he told me to wear something, I wore it. When he said jump, I didn't ask how high, I just knew. The table went silent. I set down my whiskey, looked her directly in the eyes, and said, interesting perspective to share 3 months before our wedding. She laughed it off, said she was drunk, that she was just reminiscing. But I saw the look in her eyes when she talked about him. That wasn't nostalgia. That was hunger. I'm not an insecure man. I bench 315, I've won 7-figure verdicts against Fortune 500 companies, and I've never needed to chase a woman in my life. But I'm also not stupid. When someone tells you who they are, you listen. So I started paying attention. She started working late during restaurant week, when Theo's places would be packed. She bought new lingerie but never wore it for me. She suggested we check out a new gym that happened to be 2 blocks from Theo's flagship restaurant. She'd come home smelling like expensive cologne that wasn't mine. I could have confronted her. Could have gone through her phone, made a scene, demanded answers. But that's not how I operate. In law, you never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. And you never show your hand until you're ready to play it. I hired a private investigator. Cost me $3,000 but worth every penny. Within 2 weeks, I had everything. Photos of her entering Theo's restaurant after closing. Her car parked overnight at his apartment building 6 times. Hotel receipts from her company card for afternoons when she was supposedly at vendor meetings. Video of them kissing in the alley behind his restaurant. Text messages she'd been deleting. My pie had a guy who could recover them from cloud backups. The messages were the worst part. Not because they were sexual, though they were. But because of how she talked about me. He's so predictable. SX every Saturday, missionary, exactly 15 minutes. He thinks planning a date means making reservations. You never asked, you just took me. I'm marrying him anyway. You're cocaine, he's vitamins. A girl needs vitamins for the long run. After the wedding, after I have his kids, maybe we can pick this up again. Theo's responses were just as damning. He called me the safety net, said he understood why she needed to secure the bag, promised they'd figure something out after she was married. I had 3 weeks until the wedding. 3 weeks to plan my response. Update 1, posted 3 days later. The execution was yesterday. Let me break down exactly what I did. First, understand that I'd been preparing for 3 weeks. While Bianca was picking centerpieces and finalizing seating charts, I was documenting everything. Asset lists, account numbers, vendor contracts, lease agreements. I approached this like I would a hostile corporate takeover. Her bachelorette party was this past weekend in Vegas. 4 days of her and 8 friends getting drunk and posting Instagram stories about last fling before the ring. Ironic, considering she'd been having her last fling for 2 months. While she was gone, I executed everything. Friday, 6 p.m., withdrew exactly half of our joint savings, $31,000. Legally mine to take. Left the other half untouched to avoid any claims of financial abuse. Friday, 8 p.m. Sent emails to all 200 wedding guests from my personal email with the subject line, "Wedding cancellation, October 15th. The email read, "I regret to inform you that the wedding between Bianca Reeves and myself scheduled for October 15th has been cancelled. This decision is final and due to the discovery of Ms. Reeves' ongoing infidelity. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause with your travel arrangements. Those who have purchased gifts from our registry will receive full refunds within 5 to 7 business days. Thank you for your understanding." I attached 3 photos, her entering Theo's apartment, them kissing in the alley, and a screenshot of her text saying I'm marrying him anyway. Saturday, 10 a.m. Called vendors. The venue, owned by a client of mine, let me out of the contract immediately. The caterer, photographer, and band, all contracts were in my name, all cancelled with minimal fees. The florist and decorator were in her name, her problem. Total saved, approximately $40,000. Saturday, 2 p.m. Moved all my belongings out of our apartment. Lease was in both our names but I'd been paying 70% of the rent. I'd already signed a lease on a new place starting November 1st. I left all shared furniture but took everything I'd bought. Saturday, 6 p.m. Called her parents. Her father, Roberto, is a traditional Portuguese immigrant who owns a construction company. Her mother, Maria, is a devout Catholic. I told them everything, sent them the photos. Roberto's exact words, "That's not my daughter anymore." Sunday, 11 a.m. Changed all my passwords, removed her from my health insurance, life insurance beneficiaries, and emergency contacts. Blocked her on all social media platforms. Sunday, 4 p.m. She landed in Vegas. Her phone started exploding with messages. I know because her maid of honor, who had also sent the email to, texted me, "Bianca is having a complete meltdown. What the F did you do?" Sunday, 8 p.m. She came home. I was in the kitchen making dinner. Ribeye, medium rare, with a loaded baked potato and asparagus. Opening a bottle of Macallan 18 I'd been saving for our wedding night. She walked in, mascara streaked, hair a mess, dragging her suitcase. "What the F did you do?" she screamed. I didn't look up from plating my steak. I canceled the wedding. "Would you like some asparagus? I made extra." "You sent those photos to everyone. My parents won't answer my calls. The vendors are saying everything's canceled." Yes, and yes. I took a bite of steak. "This is perfectly cooked. You should try cooking sometime instead of fucking restaurant owners." She started crying. Not the pretty tears you see in movies, ugly, snotty sobbing. "How did you find out?" "You told me. July 15th, dinner with your friends. You said I wasn't dominant enough, not like Theo. So I paid attention. Hired a pie. Got proof. Made decisions. We can work through this." "No. I love you." "No, you don't. You love my stability. You love my income. You love the future you imagine with my last name. But me? You compared me to another man while I was sitting right there. Then you f***ed him for 2 months. It was just sex. And now it's just over. You have until 9 a.m. to pack what's yours and leave. I'll be at the gym." She tried to touch me, to grab my arm. I pulled away. "Donovan, please. The wedding is in 3 weeks. Everyone knows. I'll be humiliated." "Good." I finished my dinner while she stood there crying. Then I went to my office, locked the door, and listened to her pack all night. Update 2, posted 1 week later. The fallout has been spectacular. Bianca's parents completely cut her off. Roberto called me personally to apologize, said I was the son he wished he'd had. They were paying for half the wedding, that money is now going toward their retirement instead. Maria sent Bianca a text saying she's not welcome at family gatherings until she repents for her sins. But here's where it gets interesting. Theo threw her under the bus immediately. His wife, Simone, is pregnant with their 3rd kid. She comes from old money, her family actually backed 2 of his restaurants. When she got my email, I sent it to her business account, found it on LinkedIn. She gave him an ultimatum: cut all contact with Bianca or lose everything. He chose his restaurants. He sent Bianca a text, which she screenshotted and sent me, trying to make me feel bad. "This was a mistake. Don't contact me again. I'm working on my marriage. You should have worked on yours." Then he blocked her everywhere and had his lawyers send her a cease and desist letter saying she'd be trespassed if she came to any of his establishments. The professional destruction was swift. C. Bianca's event planning business thrived on referrals from law firms, including mine. We were her biggest client, partner meetings, holiday parties, client entertainment events. That dried up immediately when I informed our managing partner about the situation. Word spreads fast in professional circles. Within 72 hours, 3 other firms had canceled upcoming events with her. Her Instagram, which was basically her portfolio, went from 15K followers to 8K in a week. Comments on every post calling her a cheater. She tried damage control. Posted some BS about growing apart and mutual decisions. I responded with a comment, nothing mutual about fucking another man while planning our wedding. Got 3,000 likes before she deleted it and made her account private. Her friends are split. The married ones sided with me immediately, they saw what she did as a threat to their own relationships. The single ones tried to support her at first, but even they're pulling back. Her best friend, Kendra, told me she can't look at Bianca the same way after reading those texts about securing the bag. Meanwhile, I've been living my best life. Hit a PR on deadlift, 495 pounds. Won a motion to dismiss on a 8-figure case. Been on 3 dates with a prosecutor who actually appreciates stability and success. The apartment situation is resolved. Since I moved out and stopped paying my portion, Bianca couldn't afford it alone. She had to break the lease, which cost her $4,000 in penalties. She's now living in a studio in Riverside, 40 minutes from downtown. Update 3, posted 2 weeks later. Bianca tried to salvage her business by repositioning as a budget-friendly planner. Put out ads on Facebook, lowered her prices by 60%, started taking smaller events. It failed spectacularly. C. Luxury event planning is about trust and reputation. Rich people don't just hire you to throw parties, they hire you to handle their secrets, their dynamics, their reputations. Once word got out that she cheated on her fiancé and got exposed to 200 of the city's most connected people, she became radioactive. Her last corporate client, a tech startup, canceled their holiday party after their CEO's wife Googled Bianca and found the drama. The cancellation email was forwarded to me by a colleague. We've decided to go in a different direction due to concerns about professional judgment and discretion. She's now working at a David's bridal. I know because a paralegal at my firm was shopping for her wedding dress and saw her there. Bianca was steaming dresses in the back, trying to avoid eye contact with customers who might recognize her. From planning $100,000 weddings to steaming $500 dresses. The poeticism isn't lost on me. Meanwhile, I made partner yesterday. Youngest in the firm's history at 32. The managing partner mentioned during the announcement that they value integrity and judgment both in and out of the courtroom. Everyone knew what he meant. My salary went from $200,000 to $350,000, plus equity. I celebrated by buying a Porsche 911 Turbo. Paid cash. Posted a photo on Instagram with the caption "Decisions have consequences. Some better than others." Bianca viewed the story. I know because she forgot to hide her fake account from her followers, and I recognize the username. It's her middle name backwards. Update 4, posted 1 month later. Theo's wife Simone reached out to me last week. She wanted to thank me for the heads up and share some information she thought I should know. Turns out, I wasn't the first. Bianca had done this before. Simone hired her own pie after getting my email. Found out Bianca had affairs with her college boyfriend's roommate, her first boss at her internship, a married professor in grad school, at least 2 other clients during her event planning career. There's a pattern. She gets with stable, successful men, gets bored, cheats with someone more exciting, then tries to keep both until she's caught. I was just the first one to catch her before the wedding instead of after. Simone also told me that Theo is f***ed. His restaurants are technically partly hers through the family investment. She's not divorcing him, that would be too easy. Instead, she's made him sign a postnup that gives her 75% of everything if he cheats again, plus she now controls all financial decisions for the restaurants. He's essentially my employee now, she said over coffee. And Bianca? She's nothing. A cliché. The help who thought she could F her way into our world. Harsh, but accurate. Speaking of Bianca, she's been trying to contact me through mutual acquaintances. The messages are pathetic. Just wants closure. Needs to apologize properly. Has some of your things, she doesn't. Worried about your mental health, I'm fine. Wants to return the ring, already sold it, kept the money. I don't respond. There's nothing to say. Update 5, posted 2 months later. This will probably be my last update for a while. The story has reached its natural conclusion. Bianca is pregnant. Not mine, we hadn't had sex in the 2 months before I left. It's Theo's. She told him, thinking it would change everything. It didn't. He offered to pay for an abortion. Nothing more. When she refused, he had his lawyers send her documents relinquishing all paternal rights and responsibilities in exchange for a one-time payment of $50,000. She signed them. What choice did she have? She moved back to her parents' house in Modesto, 2 hours away. They took her in despite everything, Catholic guilt about not abandoning family, I suppose. But from what I hear, it's not pleasant. Her mother makes her pray the rosary daily for forgiveness. Her father won't speak to her directly. She's working as a receptionist at a local dental office. $18 an hour, no benefits until after 90 days. The baby is due in May. She'll be a single mother at 30, living with her parents, working a dead-end job. Meanwhile, I've been dating the prosecutor, her name's Natasha, for 2 months now. She's everything Bianca pretended to be, actually sophisticated, genuinely intelligent, honestly ambitious. She doesn't compare me to her exes because she doesn't need to, she chose me for who I am, not what I represent. We're taking things slow, but right. She owns her own condo, has her own investment portfolio, doesn't need me for stability because she created her own. When we have sex, it's because we want each other, not because she's playing some game. Last week, I ran into Roberto, Bianca's father, at a coffee shop. He insisted on buying my coffee, asked about my promotion, told me about his new contracts. Then, as we were leaving, he said something that stuck with me. You know, I came to this country with nothing. Built everything from scratch. I thought I raised my daughter to value hard work, loyalty, family. But somewhere, she learned that shortcuts exist. That you can have your cake and eat it too. You taught her the lesson I failed to teach, that choices have consequences. Thank you for that. I told him he was a good father, that kids make their own choices despite how they're raised. He shook my hand and left. Final update, posted 6 months later. I'm getting married next month. Natasha and I got engaged in Paris. Private dinner at the Eiffel Tower, 3-carat emerald cut diamond, she makes good money too, we went ring shopping together, no social media announcement, just told the people who matter. The wedding will be small. 50 people, max. Destination wedding in Santorini. No event planner, Natasha's handling everything with the venue directly. She jokes that she doesn't trust event planners, can't imagine why. I found out through the grapevine that Bianca had her baby. A boy. She named him Theodore. Fucking Theodore. The delusion is remarkable. Theo and Simone are still married. He's basically her puppet now. She controls him completely, and honestly, he seems relieved. Some men need to be controlled. I'm not one of them. Bianca tried one last time to contact me. Sent a letter to my firm. Handwritten, 6 pages. I'll spare you the details, but the gist was, she's sorry. She realizes what she lost. I was the best thing that ever happened to her. She thinks about me every day. She loves me and always will. She hopes I can forgive her someday. I had my secretary shredded. Didn't even finish reading it. See, here's what Bianca never understood. Forgiveness isn't about the person who wronged you. It's about yourself. And I forgave her the moment I decided to walk away instead of letting her actions define my future. But forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean we're good. It just means I've moved on. She's living with the consequences of her choices every single day. Waking up at her parents' house, dropping her kid at daycare, going to a job she hates, coming home to disapproving looks and cold silence. Every diaper she changes, every bill she struggles to pay, every time she sees her old friends living the life she threw away, that's her punishment. Me? I wake up next to a woman who chose me, not my stability. I make $500,000 a year doing what I love. I drive my dream car. I'm about to marry someone who never compared me to another man because she doesn't need to, she knows my worth because she has her own. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. And I'm completely indifferent to Bianca's existence. To anyone reading this who's been cheated on, don't scream, don't beg, don't try to win them back. Document everything, protect yourself legally and financially, then walk away and build something better. The best revenge isn't destroying their life, it's letting them destroy it themselves while you thrive. They made their choice. Make yours. Edit, to everyone asking how I stayed so calm, I'm a litigator. I've been screamed at by judges, threatened by opposing counsel, had CEOs try to intimidate me. You learn to compartmentalize emotions, to think strategically rather than reactively. Bianca expected tears, begging, maybe violence. She got cold indifference instead. That f***ed with her more than any emotional outburst would have. Edit 2. Yes, I'm still friends with Roberto. We get coffee monthly. He's never asked me to help Bianca, never made excuses for her. He just talks about his business, asks about my cases. I think I'm the son-in-law he wishes he'd had. Edit 3. For those saying I went too far sending the email to everyone, I disagree. If you're going to blow up your life, you don't get to control the narrative. The truth isn't cruel, it's just the truth. She made those choices in secret. I just turned the lights on. Edit 4. This is definitely my final update. Natasha and I are having our wedding next month, then focusing on our future. Bianca is a closed chapter, not even worth a footnote. Success is the best revenge, and I'm living proof. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.